My name's Anthony Engelhardt. I'm 21 and I am an aspiring musician. One day, my bandmate Jaden came over to where I was living at the time and just kind of sprung the idea that he's like, yo, we should start a band. And for whatever reason, me, him, and the other person that was playing with us at the time just took it really seriously and we're like really about it. Like I bought my guitar the next day and we all had our instruments by the next week, and for whatever reason I just really took a big liking to it. I got really good at it, I feel like, pretty early. Just gives you a lot of confidence early on, really, to get started. A lot harder than I would have expected. Just finding people to stick and play with that are about it and kind of care about it as much as you do. But it doesn't stop creating, it doesn't stop the making of the music part, you know, luckily. And that's been a lot of fun, and the most fulfilling is, you know, we don't need the full band to create our vision and to put it into life still, you know, and that's been the nice part. But definitely just a little more difficult than I thought, but still just amazing. First one that comes to mind for sure is James Hetfield from Metallica. Metallica's been my favorite band since I was like 7 years old. And just the style, the aggression, the type of music that they made really just fit what I was looking for ever since then. And I kind of veered away from metal and rock and stuff as I got a little older. But, you know, right when I came back, it was right back to Metallica. So for sure, James Hetfield. Even like Paul McCartney, you know, I really look at him as like the master of melody. And it's such an inspiration, such a guiding force, because you want to be able to do that in all mediums, you know, not have genres to define you necessarily, but your ability outweighs, you know, output. Another one I would say, definitely Tony Iommi also, from Black Sabbath. Just those style of riffs really just is what I kind of strive for almost, those kind of heavy, but still really good and melodic, you know, you can understand it still and appreciate it still and get the melody behind it. Not the biggest fan of genre labels. Heavy metal, for sure, it just encapsulates everything, a pretty broad genre that can cover a lot of different bases, so I'd say probably heavy metal for sure. Yeah, I'd probably have to go back to Metallica for sure. It'd be sick to just see that huge crowd, hear them roaring, and then go to the side stage and watch them do their thing and just be in awe the whole time. For sure, Metallica, yeah. I think it can show a lot based on maybe lyricism or the kind of tonality that you can pick up from the melodies and the music. A lot of the times it's used as a shield, I feel like, though. It's kind of like it's an open, expressive way that you can not be judged or kind of mistaken, you know. Everything has its own meaning to everybody, so you can write something about the hardest time in your life and, you know, somebody can take it through four different ways, you know. So that's the best part about music, is that the expression is limitless and the understanding is limitless, really. Different every time, you know. Sometimes I'll be at work and I'll just get like a vocal melody popping into my head and immediately, you know, put it in my phone. But number one way I've written music for sure so far is it starts with a riff. You know, every day I play and there's a riff I like, I record it, goes into the library, and then I always kind of have a good amount of things to pick from. I get stuff from Jaden, so we have a bunch of material that's just waiting to be opened and developed. So usually starts with a riff. I don't have a full band yet, so, you know, I'm sure when I get a drummer, you know, he's gonna drop a drum beat and start jamming in practice or something. I'm sure a lot of stuff will come out that way, but as of right now, just starts with the riff. Dream venue. I mean, I really think about performing at the amphitheater a lot just because of how synonymous it is with Albuquerque and, you know, with the culture. But outside of Albuquerque, I'd probably say like the Coliseum or something in Rome would be like just crazy and just a dream for sure. Right now, good, because I haven't had a show yet, so that'll really test me. The show will test me for sure. But I have a lot of confidence in myself and my ability to get better and improve, because there's always room for improvement. But it's for sure what I have enjoyed the most is being able to write the songs and sing them, and kind of show myself something that I haven't seen before. Tell my family about it, and they're like, "Oh, you're singing? You're doing vocals?" And it's like, "Yeah, I am." And that's probably what I'm most excited to kind of show. Everything about creating is exciting to me. The moment the idea is encapsulated, the burst of inspiration that drives you to drop everything and write it down or whatever it is, the moment that riff, sounds exactly the way you wanted it to, or it comes together the way you want it to. There's nothing I don't like about creating, honestly, which is kind of a boring answer, but it's really true. It's one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done, and I don't know really what I would do if I haven't found it, for sure. Local scene is very accepting of all genres. You can go to any DIY spot and hear just about anything you want to hear, and that's amazing. That's all you want, is to be able to be included. Not be in a band and feel like you can't perform at certain spots because they won't take a liking to the things you like or the music you make and stuff like that. But just very inclusive, very active, especially in Albuquerque. They're very active, and it's great. The demo is going to be some good, hard-hitting heavy metal for sure. Classic stuff. Definitely you'll hear some of our influences off of it, but it's also got, our touch on it, and I don't think it's like anything you might have heard before, but definitely some good classic fucking heavy metal. I guess the end goal for creating music would be just to be able to live off of it. That's obviously a dream for most artists, is to be able to live off of their art and for it to have some sort of impact, some sort of shockwave, no matter how big or small. Just a little flourish of whatever, inspiration, anything, that's what it's there for sure. As soon as heavenly possible, for sure. Just once we get a full group of guys that are ready to hit it like we are. But until then, we wait patiently. Don't let yourself get in your own way. It's easy to scare yourself away from those big, daunting tasks or taking that big jump. It can be super scary, and rightfully so. It's something that I feel like every artist goes through, and even when they're in that craft and pursuing it, in the middle of it, they still have those kind of doubts. Is it gonna make a effect? Are people gonna, take a liking to this, or not even take a liking, but get some sort of emotional or any experience out of it? The uncertainty for sure is a big thing that'll block you, and you can't let that block you. You can't let outside or inside influence block you. You gotta remember why you're doing it, remember why you started it, and that'll keep you going.